All right, y'all. So I forgot to do a video yesterday. To make up for it, we're doing Gekishin Squadron hot takes, and this is going to be a pretty long one. I mean, we have 258 replies. We might even have more, 259 replies now. So we're going to see exactly what things are looking like. Now, I am not alone. I'm joined by Rose here and your boy Mike. If you guys remember,
What's
they've
going
been
on,
on the
guys?
channel in the
It's your boy Mike.
past. Yeah, it's Mike right
What's
there.
going on, guys? It's your boy Mike.
Exactly. Anyways, there's two of them, and I mean,
Just two of them.
the thing about
There's two.
yeah, the thing about hot takes here is I feel like a lot of these hot takes might not be really hot takes at all. So we're gonna see how exactly people are reacting to this. We also do have a bunch of quote tweets now. What do you guys want to look at first? Want to look at the replies or some quote tweets?
Let's thin down the quote retweets.
Quote tweets.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look here. Let's see what people were saying. So they need to make Frieza top 1 technical for the amount of BS nerfs he got. I mean, Frieza is funny right now because at least just in my opinion, he's not really annoying or anything like that unless he's in Super Start. And there's like a little bit of a funny strat you could do with him, but yeah, he's not really that great right now. I think Zarbon and Dodoria need a little bit more survivability. Or like, you shouldn't be able to move Zarbon and Dodoria. Like, I don't know, maybe it would be too good in certain situations, but imagine if Zarbon and Dodoria were just immobile and they just sat there, right? Instead of you being able to just kind of move them back and forth, right? I don't know what you guys think about that.
I wouldn't say it's a terribly hot take. I don't think I've ever seen someone say, "Oh, this character deserves to be top 1," but I wouldn't disagree necessarily. He's been one of the worst treated characters since launch.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like,
The thing is that, like, if they buff him too much, I think he does have a little bit of an annoying play style. Just constantly being able to get out of situations with his skill 3, and then on top of that, like the minions, once you get to like the final 2 towers, right? The minions can be so fucking annoying.
yeah,
Like,
you
there's
can be
some
really
really
good at
copy
holding, so it just depends.
There's some characters that'll be very annoying nuisances if they get
Right.
buffed. Dabra is another one.
Like Android 17 is like or even Kid Gohan, right? Like when I face them, even if I lose, I'm like, okay, well, at least I had a little bit of fun. If I'm facing a Frieza, I could win, and I'd be like, man, that was so stupid.
Dude,
Like, I just...
I could win and be like, "Oh my god, here this guy goes bolting across the map for the 5th time today."
Yeah, he is
Yeah.
like kind of like the boar in the sense where it's like if they make him too good, he's broken. But if they obviously undersell him, he's just not that great, right? It's like there's no in between. I think for this character, so.
Yeah,
I mean,
fundamentally polarizing kit.
Making him top 1 tech would probably not be good for the game. So yeah, it probably is a little bit of a hot take. I don't think that anyone should be top 1. Like, I think there will be like a character that you could point out and be like, oh yeah, like I think right now it's actually pretty fair. Like, you could point out Hit and say he's top 1, but like there's many qualities about 17 or Ultimate Gohan or even Kid Gohan, Majin Buu. Like many of these characters, even Krillin has like some stuff to him. I wouldn't like argue Krillin's top 1, but like I think like these 5 characters right here are pretty relative in strength. This guy is still around here too. These 2 are like the ones that are like underwhelming, but even like Frieza has some stuff to him. Gotenks' ult got buffed, so like he's not completely useless now. Like, I mean, I think Tech is in a pretty decent spot right now. So I think making someone like just top 1, I don't know. Okay, this is interesting. You can't never understand why they got rid of Android 16. They could have made him and Jackie Chun swap out, or made it a fake out where you think he'll be fighting Nappa, but instead have to go back up for 16.
I don't like the idea of a fake out. I don't like the idea of more RNG in this game. Just gonna start off with that.
I think that's fair. And another thing, the reason why they got rid of 16 is because you could kill 16 in one shot. Like, they wanted to give us a more interactive fight, and I think this is them like testing that out. And I think Jackie Chun was a really good addition to the game because it's a way more interactive boss fight. And hopefully in the future we get more interactive fights like that, where obviously once you hit Jackie Chun and you see which attack he does, then you could decide, okay, I can melt Jackie Chun or not. Like, he's still a boss that could be multiple, which is a little bit unfortunate, but he's not always going to be the case. And then many times you'll have to take a team fight before then, just because, you know, it takes him a certain time to do things. Certain characters can't really start the boss, like Kefla, so like it depends. I do like the boss quite a bit, a lot over 16, especially because like 16 gave a pretty disgusting buff. They could have changed it, but I don't know. 16 just didn't really feel as interactive of a boss. Like once we really like got into the boss melt kind of situation, and especially when I mean, they keep giving us characters that give energy debuffs like Hit, or like, you know, Kid Gohan in season 2, or Ultimate Gohan right now. Like, I just think that's just an issue.
I think on top of that too, right? It's like the buff that 16 gave was just way too good. It made it where people were able to get out of situations that they just straight up should not have. And he was easily by far one of the best bosses in the game, right? In terms of like effects and all that. So to not only have it where it just is like a boss that you have to just ult as soon as you can and kind of hope that your team is the one who gets it, but it also is such a crucial boss. It's just like it kind of makes sense why they would want to swap it out for something like how you said, a bit more interactive. I like the swap.
And I want to add on, I think it's interactive in a way. It's like, okay, obviously it feels kind of bad to have Jackie Chun like multi-form his way out of your Spirit Bomb, but it's like it's interactive in a way that isn't totally random, like Jocko or Ribrianne. Like, you could play the Ribrianne fight perfectly and like zone off their DPS, and you can be ripping her, and then you go for a Spirit Bomb, and then she just rolls out of it, right? There's nothing you could do about that. Whereas in Jackie, it's like the way in which his boss fight is structured encourages you to play around it and encourages you to actually pay attention to the boss instead of just ulting in one spot.
Yeah.
It makes it so the boss actually exists.
I definitely agree. Like, I will hope that eventually, you know, we get more of the bosses like Jocko and Ribrianne get replaced, honestly, or Nappa. I think more so Nappa needs to be replaced because Nappa has some issues, but yeah. I mean, maybe if they switch between Nappa and 16, that could be kind of fun. But like, I wouldn't want it to be like, oh, you need to go back up for 16. I don't know. That's my thought though.
That would, in a way, that would just reward bad macro. If you don't rotate, then you get the boss up there.
Yeah. Besides the balance of the game, I like how Gekishin Squadron is doing alternate costumes. You adore how crazy they go with characters. And you're still waiting for the Turles armor for Broly. I mean, yeah, right here in Trunks of Tapion. I mean, this is not really a hot take, but this is just a cool thing. I hope they keep doing more of this.
I think most people would say the cosmetics are one of the best parts of this game, besides the cost.
For sure. They must put a third alley somewhere in Prontos. Like, I see a lot of people asking for a third lane for this game, and I think that would be cool, but it would fundamentally change the game because they would have to make the game more than 4v4, I feel like.
100%.
Like, you would need at least a fifth character. And
the thing is, right, I like the idea of them adding a third lane and them having it like as a separate game mode, you know, rather than having it where like they're focusing on like Veggie Battle and doing all those other ones, right? I think adding that when there are characters who would be like 20 times better if there was just that third lane, you know, like imagine 18, for example, as like a jungle type character, right? Who's just constantly going into like the farm and then just jumps out of nowhere and is able to try and like assassinate people in a sense, right?
Yeah.
Or even hit
like Trunks,
or Trunks too. Like but I'm more so specifically talking about characters like Deborah and 18 who just don't feel like their playstyle really fits the 2-lane situation that we have. So giving them that opportunity and adding that third lane, I think would be kind of cool. And I feel like it would shake up the meta a little bit.
I definitely agree, honestly. Like, I think that it would be nice to see at least a mode like that, but this would be something like for an anniversary update. And I think again, this is, I think, feedback that a lot of people who play other MOBAs leave. It's not something that the casual audience would bring out. And honestly, the unfortunate thing is I think this game really focuses on feedback from the casual audience rather than the consistent
The real
player
deal
base.
grinders.
Yeah, exactly. Because they want to get a large player base, but the thing is that like they also need to focus a little more on the people that are actually still staying, or else they're also going to drop off and they're going to just be in a lose-lose situation. We'll read this one, and then we'll just kind of go into some of the replies too. We'll just kind of switch back and forth. So I think this is like it depends, because the thing about medical respawn is that while it's not as bad to kill it, you guys got to keep in mind that medical respawn still has the same fundamental issue of like Cell Juniors, or just the snowball aspect of this game, where if you're winning, you're likely gonna just be able to revive your allies a lot more often than the enemy team who's not winning as often, unless the team who's winning makes a mistake. And then obviously that comes down to skill, which is where this comes into play. But like if it's two teams on like an equal level and one team already has like the level advantage, they're already winning team fights, they get someone picked off, well, they're more likely going to be able to revive their ally and all their other allies after a team fight ends. Like, let's say a team fight ends and then the team who's already a level ahead, continue to win, right? Or obviously, like, if you don't get into that fight for boss, then you lose the boss, or you lose your tower, or both, and it just gets you into a little chokehold there. And then let's say you outplay them and you get like 2 picks off, but then obviously you get kind of really hurt, and if you try to push in again, you need to back off, then they get to resurrect their allies. But then if you do push in, they kill you and get an advantage off of that, and then still could resurrect their allies. Like, it's just a lose-lose situation for someone who's already in a losing position.
Right. Like, imagine you're losing a team fight and you have to dedicate resources and like game sense and comms and just like, little micro movements towards disabling a machine, rather than either one, getting the fuck out of there, or two, just trying to claw back advantage in the fight and target the correct person. Like, let's say a Majin Buu who's going off on skill 2 cooldown. It's not a matter of skill. It's really not a matter of skill, because this can happen to any team, because the game is so snowbally inherently. Like, it doesn't matter if you're a C rank and you're losing to B ranks, or you're like Abe's team in the final of Squadra Blast and you're fighting Aizen's team. Like, there's always an inherent power dynamic with medical respawn that you can't. It's not a skill matter. It's like you always will have to devote more resources and care and thought to damaging a med respawn machine if you're losing. It's not just a matter of we killed 3, but then we got careless and we let this Frieza get the res on 3 and we lost the team fight after because we burned our resources. Like, that's not usually the problem people have with med respawn.
Yeah, I just really don't like the idea, because it happens so often, right? Where it's just like 2 people versus 2 people, and then like it goes down to like the final 1v1, right? And then the person who wins is just able to revive their ally, and there's so many times where you could just like straight up lose a tower because of that. You know what I mean? Like, you just make one little mistake and then boom, that's it. Like, you just lose one of your 4 towers, like, just from that.
Pretty much.
And it's so stupid.
Shut up. They should not buff it no matter what. Twilight's
Explode.
trolling right
No.
now.
They gotta revert the hit nerf and as a buff, and then they gotta nerf him in some other way. There you go.
I mean, if we're seriously talking about hit, I mean, in general, there should be a blanket rule, by the way. They just need to change the game where you can't debuff bosses. And then hit becomes like twice as less annoying with his ultimate. He already like does so much in his ultimate. The fact that he can also debuff bosses is unfortunate. However, you could use that to your advantage as the enemy team, because obviously it's the boss being debuffed. So if you're the enemy team, the boss is also just debuffed for you, because it's not like, oh, I'm debuffing for my team, it's you debuffing the boss, and the enemy team could also take advantage of that. But I just think it's still dumb, obviously, if you're coordinated well enough, like, especially because you could queue into like stacks as a solo player. It doesn't seem fair. That's also something I have to change, but yeah. Outfit customization in this game is low-key buns. Like, sure, some outfits are good, but when most legendaries are just Fortnite Galaxy skin, but green, it starts to get lame. Start doing more creative and game original outfits. I see the point, because like I'm personally not like a fan of like the reward skin, obviously, for like the tournaments. Like, we get like the diamond skin, which is like chill.
Tinfoil.
Or yeah, this is more so like the tinfoil skin. I can't think of the actual name for it. There's the diamond skin that's for the actual Squadron Blast winners, and it's like, it's chill. You know, some of these like battle pass ones are also pretty mediocre. Like, they're just basically weird colors, and it's like fine, but I think that they could maybe do a little better with that. But we do got to keep in mind that these things do probably take but I would say probably, but they definitely will take like an approval process, to where they probably have a lot of ideas for different outfits, but does that mean that they'll get approved necessarily? They're giving this game a little more leeway, but keep in mind, most Dragon Ball games wouldn't even have any outfits even closest. Like, what's one outfit specifically like that other Dragon Ball games just don't really have? Like, most games don't even have like a playable Badman Vegeta, or, you know, some of these infinite skins that look really cool, like Kefla and Fasha's armor, like things like that. Obviously, Broly and Turles' armor. Like, we're not seeing that kind of stuff in any other game. So these things obviously will take time to kind of get approved, and it's just gonna be spaced out because of that. And I think recolors, they probably just have a lot easier of a time getting those like approved and designed and things like that. So that's kind of like the issue behind it. It might not even be because they're not, maybe it's not because they're being less original, but more so because recolors is kind of like the one thing that they're able to consistently do, and they probably have like a thumbs up on just doing in general, compared to like some of these outfit swaps.
Well, I do get that, like what you're saying. On top of that, it is kind of weird that there's skins that were in the beta that they still haven't added.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know,
like, there should be stuff in the beta that should have already been like in game at this point.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have the driver Piccolo. Was the driver Piccolo in the game? Hawaiian Goku.
Postboy Piccolo was definitely in the beta.
Yeah,
Postboy
Piccolo, the Hawaii shirt Goku still is not in the game. Like, there's so many of these outfits that we just don't have yet. This is like really interesting, but
it's a first year anniversary, trust.
We'll see.
Cooler is the hardest working tank.
No, buddy.
I just don't agree.
Hardest working is in hardest to play, or hardest working is in you're doing like there's like an uphill battle whenever you're using him.
I think if I was gonna say the tank that requires the most, like, I think skill, it probably, like, out of the good tanks, it would be Cooler.
I would say it's Cooler or Cell.
Yeah, because
if that's
I feel
what
like
they
Baby,
mean, then I agree, because like
Baby's pretty simple.
You have to. Sorry, go ahead.
Like, Baby's bad, but he's pretty simple still.
Zamasu as well.
Obviously, because, yeah, exactly. But like Baby, you literally, like, you just possess someone, right? And you just need to make sure you watch around your cooldowns, and you're like keeping your space is not too bad. But Cooler, you need to make sure that you plan for his retaliation, and then you time his iframes if you know how to do it properly. Make sure that you're being patient enough and kind of grouping enemies together for the supernova, while also being in the retaliation state. You could use your skill to just stop enemies. You could use them to kind of pin them down. Like, Cooler does a lot with his different like retaliation states that he has available, along with the iframes that allow him to be a very, like, he's probably one of the more
complex tanks,
complex skill expression kind of characters in the game. Like, I would say,
Yeah.
because I think there's many
Yeah.
ways that you could play Cooler and take him into many fights. But that's my opinion. I don't really see. Yeah, and I would
I
agree.
think that
If it's
the
hard working,
other thing
if
you have
it's
to
hard as
remember,
working, go on.
yeah, I would say the other thing you have to remember is that every single one of his iframes is less than a second. I think like his highest one was like 0.9, if I remember correctly. So like, yeah, he can just like tank stuff for free, but you have to time it within a less than a second time window. You know what I mean?
You gotta manage their cooldowns. You gotta predict when they're gonna use them. Sometimes you gotta react to whatever they're doing. It definitely does take some skill. If you're talking about like hardest working is in skill ceiling, Cooler is definitely. I agree with that. But if they mean hardest working is in fights the most uphill battles when you use them, hell no. Cooler's not
Yeah.
even in that regard. Cooler is not even like top 3 hardest working tanks, I would say.
I mean, yeah, that would be Cell and Baby and
Double Baby, Zamasu, Super Saiyan Vegeta, easy.
Yeah, I feel like Vegeta's not that hard working necessarily though. After his buffs, anyways. But yeah, Super Saiyan Goku never stopped being meta contender. Yeah, that's
True.
true.
He was never bad.
That's
He
always
was
been
never
true.
bad. He was always high tier or top tier.
I mean, right now, I could bring up my tier list here that I had. I think there's one change I would make to the tier list, and that's probably Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, but I'm not really that high in Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta right now. Especially with God Goku kind of running around. I feel like he gets really hard countered right now, especially with that God Goku. So this is what my tier list was. I could like zoom out again here. Like, what was I looking at again? My brain. Oh yeah, Super Saiyan Goku. I think like in skill 2 especially, he's like Z tier, and he could. I mean, you could argue he is like, well, for sure we know that he's the best character in Hammers with Kid Gohan. Like, in Hammers feels like it's every other game, so this guy has a huge presence in Hammers. Then in just meta, I still think he's S tier. He still has one of the best secures in the game. He has a 70% slow on his skill 2. That's an AoE 70% slow. They even nerfed that from Super Vegeta, who also had the same ability on skill 3. Then he still does crazy burst damage with skill 1. Kaioken gives him a lot of defense and a lot of movement speed, and it was increased as well in terms of how long it lasts. Like, it's just they definitely like just made him like the perfect character. And as much as they nerfed him, it's just not going to keep him down, especially with the skill 2 boost, man. This guy looks really, really crazy. But like, if we think about through the metas, obviously season 0 and season 1, this guy was like the best character in the game. Like, a lot of people thought Super Saiyan 3 Goku was, but in my opinion, it was always this guy. Season 2, this guy continued, I think, until pretty much this guy reigned the game as the best character. I feel like until Ultimate Gohan came out. You could argue for Vegeta, but like, this guy,
Yeah,
was a mistake. That's for sure.
real demon.
Yeah. Then obviously in season 3 we got Vegito. They flipped the meta for this guy. Kefla, Bardock, and then now we're God Goku. Like, you guys kind of see the point, but like, Super Saiyan Goku, I mean, I think right now he's better than God Goku. I think right now he's better than Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I mean, he's better than Kefla, I feel like, right now. Like, what?
I could say.
You
I
can,
mean,
you
like,
can make an argument. On skill 2 cooldown, in my opinion, yes.
skill 2 cooldown, yes. But you have to take into account he's the single best unit in the game on Hammers. So like, no other character has that kind of value besides Kid Gohan. And then Goku is just better than Kid Gohan everywhere else, and comparable to Kefla everywhere else. I would say he's better than Kefla for sure.
Mike was a big Super Saiyan Goku one trick. What do you think about this?
Hi. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that, and it's so funny to me because there are people who will say like, I can't believe Goku got nerfed so many times, but it's like, dude, they've nerfed him like, what was it, 3-4 times, and he's still like always consistently a top 5 DPS. That is insane to think about. That he has such a good like just base kit that they've tried to consistently stop him from being number one, and he's always still been top 5.
So
Like,
versatile.
Yeah, I like his kid a lot. That's the reason
Like
why
he was made
I've played him for
around.
such a long time.
He was made around squadrons, just like entire design and philosophy. Like he just works so well. Like he has an answer to every situation.
Yeah.
Multiple escape options. He has secures for high end bosses. He has great damage. He has a slow. He could leap out of situations. Like pretty good. Play Danganronpa. I should probably play Danganronpa. The same role character thing is only a problem in very few cases. Ooh, okay, so this is definitely a hot take because a lot of people hate the same role character thing, including me. Example, being upset that Beast Gohan will be attack instead of DPS comes from deep-rooted main character syndrome. What does that mean?
I think that means, oh, you want to play Beast Gohan, you want to play the strongest character in Dragon Ball besides like the gods and Black Frieza, and you want to frag out, you want to get 12 kills.
I think that's, you know what's funny? I think Beast Gohan should be like a tank.
That'd be cool.
I think, and then like he attracts people with his ultimate into a special room cannon. Like he could attract someone into it, maybe. And then, or like apply like some sort of slow in an area. And then he charges up special beam and is like kind of like a better Piccolo in a sense, which would be kind of funny. But like maybe not do as much damage, obviously. But it's just like more so like I think like Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, like as a character, or like full power Frieza. Obviously these characters need to play roles, but at the same time these characters and how they act in the series like shouldn't be in their roles. Like God Vegeta does not seem like a tank type of character. He literally has God Goku's Godbind.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, like I think saying it's a problem in very few cases is definitely a hot take, and I would say definitely a little disingenuous considering we're at the half inning and it's already rearing its head as to how this is a problem. They made God Vegeta a character who doesn't do any tank-like things whatsoever in canon, whether that's in the Goku Black arc and from the manga or in Broly. He doesn't do any tank-like things. So they literally had to steal a move from God Goku because him having Godbind as a DPS also wouldn't make sense. DPS don't typically have CC, right? So they had to take a move that could have made God Goku's kit more interesting. Mind you, some people complain about God Goku's kit being uninteresting and boring. Mike, I think Mike thinks so. So it's like we're automatically making God Goku less interesting. I think that's one of the few Gokus that could have been a technical. And then we're just making God Vegeta like a totally BS overpowered character because they had to invent stuff to give him that made him play like a tank, and they just like they gave him the most horrifying CC in the game as a result.
You know what's funny about God Vegeta? Did you guys know that they buffed him?
I did see Andy's tweet about that. The extra HP.
That, yeah.
That's very, very funny.
Toshi's just that much of a fraud.
Pretty much. I mean, Mike, go on.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's just like, it's funny that it's said as like deep-rooted main character syndrome when it's more like God Goku is the main character, and we were begging for him to not be DPS.
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say
we were on our hands and knees being like, please just make him like it is the most technical moment that could have been in the entire history of Gekishin Squadron, and they're like, I think he's kind of a DPS. He's kind of he's like he's got a little DPS kind of feel to it, right? And I get it. There are people who make the argument of I don't really want it to be Goku Squadra versus Gohan Squadra or anything like that, right? But at a certain point, it's just like we're fitting characters into roles that they just should not be in, right? Like how you said, if full power Frieza is in tech, I'm gonna cry. It just straight up that
it just doesn't. Make
it
sense.
would be so stupid. Yeah.
Tech Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, even though all he does is slaughter Cell Juniors and Cell.
Poke's just being a troll.
Like
But he's even though Super Saiyan 2 Gohan
people.
super violent and doesn't do any sort of CC, he has to be a technical.
Sure.
It's not even about main character syndrome at that point.
Poke's just being a troll. Kid Hanberry debuff, yeah, Pokey, you're a loser. El Pokey, just kidding. Poke's cool. But no, do not bring back the berry debuff. Well, honestly, if it exists at this point, actually I don't care, man. Just like who cares? Squadron devs should start adjusting stats beyond HP values. They kind of do, though. Taking increasing mobility from certain tanks as well as tweaking defense would go farther than gutting skills or overcompensating stats. I mean, yeah, but I think a lot of what a character might do is maybe in their passive, and they have been experimenting a little bit with like adjusting other things in character kits. I mean, I don't know if there's a specific one I can think of in this update.
I think it was season 4.1.
4.1.
That's where they. Oh no, it was. I think it might have been that one. Dude, I'm so
No,
sorry.
I'm not talking about this at all. No.
No, I know.
What's
I know
this
which one
one?
you're talking about. Where they like nerfed like the entire thing. Yeah, it was that one. That they nerfed transformation HP.
Yeah, exactly. Like, well, this is interesting, right? They apply like read this right here. I mean, I guess I see what you mean. We were talking about like actually adjusting the base stats of the character. I mean, they kind of only do that for HP, but like the thing is that most of these characters, like the damage comes from their skills anyway. So like if they're going to be adjusting damage from characters, it would be the skills. And in terms of the tankiness of the character, I think a lot of that comes from HP as well. So because like, okay, characters have like a defensive value, but I think most of the actual defense comes from like the Divine Draw cards, right? Like especially a lot of the damage reduction, unless it's in their passive skill, in which case they would like adjust in their passive skill, like Kefla or Bardock.
Mm-hmm.
Divine Draw should be removed from ranked. Yeah, I mean, they can stay within quick play, but you can't have a ranked environment. Yeah, I mean that's disagreeable. Game's in a great state now if we get rid of hammers. Vegeta's probably the best post-launch character in terms of how good he is compared to how toxic he is.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my big thing when I'm talking about character design for this game. If you were going to make the new characters have completely overloaded kits with a lot of utility compared to the old characters, at least don't make them feel like total trash to play against. Make them like Vegeta, where it's like, okay, yeah, I kind of got this.
So the thing is that Vegeta is like susceptible to like CC. I think that's one thing like Vegeta could be open to getting countered with is like tons of CC. Obviously, Vegeta can't last forever in team fights. Like he could do really well in these team fights, but he's not gonna last forever. And obviously, you know, pre-transformation, there's like 17 who could like stop him from transforming early as well. Like there's ways to work around Vegeta. But he's still like really good because he still does a lot of damage. He can still do crazy things on the ult. Kind of almost want to say ultimate turn, but like his ult like Dokkan. And when he has his ult pop, like he can do a lot. He's like Broly, but like 6 times better. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Broly is
I
example
mostly agree with the
of someone...
first part. I just think they need to get rid of hammers and God Vegeta, and then we're good.
I feel like God Vegeta is a character that I think as more people learn to play around God Vegeta, he's not going to be as bad of a deal, personally. And I was talking about this like with Aizen the other day, but it's like I feel like the thing about God Vegeta is there are ways to play around him a little bit in terms of like his passive skill and kind of having your burst damage character be there when you're going to finish him off, or if it's not a thing, then there's not really a point in engaging with him, and you might as well just like continue farming unless he's pushing your tower. Then obviously you just prevent him from chipping. But like, well, God Vegeta is really strong, and I still do think that they need to nerf his healing and his passive skill. I think that as people will figure out more so like how to play around him a little bit, it might not be as big of a deal. But again, that's a speculation that a lot of people were having, and I could definitely see that going that way. But yeah, that's why I still think like, again, most of these tanks, like a lot of people are talking about God Vegeta fanning on his own, and it's like, whilst I do think he's like Z tier on his own probably, like I still think Bardock, Cooler, Caulifla, even Zamasu, but like, you know, Super Saiyan Vegeta, like all these characters are still around that same level. So like if we think about that, it should be okay, obviously, but ideally they do adjust God Vegeta a little bit, make him a little weaker.
I think his CC is the problem, honestly. Too easy for too much ward.
Yeah.
Too hard to get around. His healing can stay. I think it's like feels like very much like a Project Multi-Tank where he's like virtually unkillable but he shouldn't have that much easy passive CC. Like if there are certain points in time where you literally cannot engage him and you cannot use cooldowns on him whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, maybe if he didn't restore his cooldowns, but
Yeah, I think cooldown restoration in that passive with the most broken cooldowns in the game is a little much, but you know. Everyone
Divine
sucks, yeah.
Draws ruined the game. Yeah, I think this is true. Divine Draws are
I
just
used to
not
be
good.
I used to be very pro Divine Draw, but now playing in a season where you have a 50% chance, probably greater honestly, because I feel like there's weight, but there's like a 50% chance your game is just horrible whenever you queue. I'm not pro Divine Draw anymore.
Yeah, like there's so many recordings where I'm just like sad at the end. where I'm just like, bro, like I just had to go first match Squeaky Hammers, which isn't really a good showcase for the character. It's just like a showcase of Squeaky Hammers. I go into the next match, it's Mystery HP, so I'm just like a bum. And the next match is like it's like Mickey Mouse with the search trap. It's like it's just so unfun. Like truly, I really do hope that maybe even just make it like separate. If they don't want to just completely remove it, like ranked with Divine Draws and ranked without. Because like, please, I don't like these Divine Draws, man. This is easily the worst season for Divine Draws.
1000%.
Two takes. Diamond Goku is the best DPS in the game. You are crazy. I just
bro.
I just don't see it. Like
No.
Diamond
Sorry, what
Goku's
happened?
Diamond Goku's really good, but I just like don't see him having.
Over Oob is crazy. What does
Yeah.
that guy do better than Oob?
It just, I feel like this guy could do a lot, but he's more like a jack of all trades character, you know?
Definitely extremely good. Self-sufficient, has a decent secure, but definitely not the strongest secure in the game.
That's not the
like-
strongest secure. I mean, it depends, obviously, like how much damage is kind of thrown at this guy, but like it's a little bit situational. Power pull dance is really good, and it always this will continue to be really good. I don't know what they're thinking about with this. This is like these two, like combining them, like you could do good damage overall, but like I think it's maybe a little, it's like weird because it's like you could build Diamond Goku like a damage way or a DPS or a defense way, and especially if you do go the defensive way, which is probably the safer and smarter way to build this guy. He obviously doesn't do as much damage on here. His passive skill is kind of just like fine. Like it's
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, yeah.
It was like okay before, and then they made it worse. I was like, huh?
I just feel like, yeah, again, strike damage gradually increases while it's engaged in battle, but like this isn't strike based, this isn't strike based. I think this is strike based actually. So like obviously the longer the fight lasts, the more this will happen. Fighting a hero with higher level than hers will accelerate the damage increase. This is cool in an idea, but like you're not going to be engaging in fights with the hero with the higher level than hers anyways. Like unless you're forced to that
you're
corner.
fighting whenever you're getting over leveled, then you should just be back farming unless you're on a boss.
Exactly, and I don't think it's as big of a difference. Like I feel like this passive skill probably doesn't do that much for him. Especially
Crazy, he's that good
with.
with that passive, right? His skills are just that good.
Yeah, exactly. I just wouldn't say he's best DPS in the game. Like he doesn't do.
If you want to say he's the most fun, I'll allow that.
Oh,
Low-key, 'cause
definitely the most
he is
fun.
so
He's very
fun,
fun.
dude.
Definitely
very
the
fun.
most fun. Always the most fun. That's the GOAT.
Out of every season we've had, season 3 has had the best divine lineup.
I was gonna say season 1, but Cell Juniors actually kill it for me. But wall buns were so good, man.
Wall buns are really good. I like wall buns. I think this is more of an opinion, but yeah.
Well, the thing is that like season 1, all it had was Cell Juniors, so it was like a 1 out of 8 chance you wanted to cry.
Yeah. What were all the draws in season 3 again?
I could bring it up.
It was the clouds. It was the clouds on the Gods of Destruction. It was Super Start skill 1 boost. It was I'm forgetting like the other Gold Cell Juniors, and then I forget the other 3.
Season 3?
So I
Gold Cell
found.
Junior?
I think this is
No, the
season.
other 3.
I found season 2.
I think
And
season 3 you
then
removed Stardust, I believe.
season 3 was this. This is what was removed. So like, okay, season 3 removed Stardust, Boost 2, and then Spirited Away. I mean, they added Mystery HP.
Mr.
and then
HP? Hell no.
This one was a
Dude.
bit too overtuned.
Just because of Kefla existing, I hated that.
Yeah.
It probably-
it's so
and then-
toxic.
It probably
And then
was
Vanishing
season
Step
1.
obviously caters towards Kefla. Like it's definitely designed for her. They went into the
Yep.
Divine Draws going into season 3. They're like, okay, we're gonna drop Kefla this season. We have to
Yep.
make this Divine Draw.
I feel like it probably was season 1, honestly.
Yeah. Crazy.
Like, yeah. Imagine if season
I
1
wouldn't-
had Team Rush Go instead of
Still
Still Juniors. That'd be pretty
Prime,
good.
yeah.
Be pretty good.
I wouldn't call you crazy
Imagine
for saying 3
part
had the
2
best
of
draws,
his
I guess.
anniversary. It's the Hall of Fame Divine Draws, and we like vote like which ones we want to come back. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, but then the next season comes and it's all just wiped out again.
No. Super squeaky hammers. It instantly destroys towers.
Okay. Anyways. UI Goku should be technical.
Yes.
Yeah, I could see that.
I'm
Honestly,
been a
you
big
could even
UI technical shooter.
you could even see him as a tank, where he's just like constantly evading damage.
Top gauge would go crazy.
Yeah, he it's like Legends. He just like has a gauge that depletes as he dodges. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be fire. That's like fucking Saitama in One's Justice. He just gets tired of the fight, the boredom gauge.
Exactly.
Yeah, he doesn't die. He just gets bored and like walks back to base.
No, that's how they gotta implement Beerus. They gotta make Geen or Liquier replace Beerus if he's in play, and then just make him have a boredom gauge. When he dies, he recalls for however long it takes you to respawn.
Pajama beers. Games in a great state as long as hammer scaling changes. Yeah, I mean hammers is like fine if it didn't do as nearly as much damage, or if it was somewhat interruptible. But the fact that it's not interruptible and does as much damage is stupid.
Yeah.
Bardock and Kefla are the most fun characters of their respective classes that they've dropped so far.
I would say fun in like a power fantasy way. Like, okay, everybody's thought about being a god for a day. You know, people watch solo leveling. I can see it.
I can see Bardock being fun. I just don't have fun with Kefla. That's just me personally. I just don't see it. Kefla just like was a get out of jail free card. Like you could do anything you wanted with her and get out without any punishment pretty much even if you just slightly knew how to play her.
That's extremely entertaining for some people.
Solo queue is impossible because between the ultra long queue times on every role but tech, the bots on your own team, or because you're forced to do 4 stack, no one else is on the game. I mean,
That's not even a hot take.
It's not a hot
Even
take,
Abe
it's
gave
true.
up going to get triple S. That's literally just a fact at this point. All that guy does is play this game, and even he said like, no, this is bad for my mental. I can't do this.
they need to just restrict it to either solo or duo queue max. EX
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
EX tokens are underutilized. I agree.
Yep.
And then Dragon Gems should become grindable. I mean, I think they kind of are, but like, I don't know why they don't have ranked rewards in this game. I was talking about this with Mike the other day, but like, why don't they give you Dragon Gems for like ranking high in the game?
Real ranked rewards. You don't even get a
That's
gold
the-
capsule multi for getting top 1.
That's the thing that I feel like is just so weird. Is Gekishin Squadra is like, it's so much better in some areas for like a gacha game, right? Where the characters are not locked behind you having to summon them like other Dragon Ball games. They're not. The skins are pretty, I would say pretty decent and lower cost compared to like what they could be. And again, they are not locked behind you having to summon for them. But then it's just like, I see like these prehistoric, just like stuff that they're doing. Like, what do you mean that the Dragon Gems are like just so little in the amount of what they give you, and it's like the EX tokens are being underutilized for what they could be, and it's like, I don't know. There's just so much stuff that you could point out, and just it's just like weird decisions that they make.
I agree. Honestly, it just
100%.
silly. I made a whole separate video on this, but I agree that the game doesn't know. The game has an identity issue where they're pushing all these tournaments, they're pushing Squadron Blast, but then they like have a separate team where it's almost like, oh yeah, let's give us Search Trap and make these changes for casual players, where there's like that kind of rift between the two, where it's like, do you want the game to be competitive? Do you want people to take the game seriously with the whole tournament aspect and everything, or do you just want it to be a fun game that you play sometimes? And the longer they take, the more people are going to think, oh, this is just a game I pick up once in a while just to have fun with friends, and then don't actually like sit down and stay to play. And then it could cause an issue of just like long-term players and just maintaining a player base, which has been an issue since the beginning, honestly.
Yep, nothing more to say than that.
Yeah, I just brought this up actually, funny enough.
I think Abe also said this as well.
Yeah, again, just literally no more stacking, no more 4 stacks. Like, if you want a 4 stack, playing quick battle, like that's give quick battle for further reason to play. I
think the one thing I will say though is if they do decide to do that, we truly need like a better method of communication, because the thing that we have right now is just way too convoluted, I feel like, for trying to tell your teammates what you're trying to do, right? So I like, if they have it where it's limited to duos, and they need to have better ways of talking to your teammates.
I agree. That's fair. Let's see. You think the game is not that good? You will still enjoy it and look forward to come. I mean, it looks great, yeah. There's so many flaws with the game. I mean, this is just kind of agreeable. I think a lot of people do understand that, you know, obviously the game is trying to find its footing, especially since it's a niche, like you said, to Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I think we also have to remember here is that if this game was not Dragon Ball, we would not be playing this shit.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The ball traps are not a problem at all and are more fun than every Divine Draw in the season except Team Rush Go and Superstar.
I don't hate this take. I think, okay, if you're gonna be in the camp that the Wrecking Balls suck, you at least have to admit they suck in like a kind of Mickey Mouse funny way, whereas stuff like Mystery HP or Hammers just suck in a like, this is actually horrible and taxing on my mental health way. Like, going out to a Search Trap
I just feel like Search Traps are funny.
Hilarious.
Like, I don't know. It's so comical. And another thing is that I think the only issue is that obviously as battles get like larger and larger, skill, whether your characters are higher leveled, it can be a little more difficult to see what's going around the floor with all these beams going around. But like, that's really it. I think it could be interesting sometimes, and you could do some interesting setups too. But I still feel like a lot of it's a little, well, I feel like 40-50% of it is just annoying, and it just annoys me.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying.
But
I don't know.
I think if we're comparing it to the rest of the Divine Draws, then yeah, I just don't know if I would say it's not a problem, but
it's more so just like a thing of like, okay, the first couple of games that you play with the Search Traps, it's like it's more so like it catches you off guard, right? But then from that point on, it's just like, all right, well, I gotta like move around the Search Trap again because I don't want to get hit by the ball. So it's more so just like an annoyance to me than anything. Like there would be once in a while.
All right, so the video got cut off, and it was because I accidentally did not save it properly. But either way, I wanted to get a few more takes in here. I feel like, you know, since there's 200 replies, I want to make sure I cover a lot. So yeah, anyways, we're talking about the ball traps, and yeah, it's like, that's kind of where we ended off anyways. That was kind of the last point that was being made. So we can continue on here. Add Rose. I mean, we definitely need Rose Goku Black. That is 100% something that we need. Like, I think we need more villains, honestly, in this game. And I don't think that's really a hot take, so we don't have to go into it too much, but most releases besides like Broly have been just like a good guy. I mean, Topo kind of, but like we rarely see villains, and we're finally getting Kid Buu, which is another good step in the right direction. But it'd be nice to see more villains. And there are some very popular villains that we could still get, like even Final Form Frieza, full power Frieza. Both of those characters are really popular. We could still get Super Broly. We could still get Goku Black, right? There's Fusion Zamasu is kind of cool as well. Like, I'm talking more general audience, right? I really like Fusion Zamasu personally. Many options, but yeah. We did take a look at this already, so I'll again refocus here. At least like in the recording that was kind of messed up, we did actually look at this, and just to let y'all know, we did agree that Kefla Bardock is definitely more toxic than God Vegeta Super Saiyan 3 Goku right now. This is definitely a hot take, and we can kind of extrapolate on it. I just don't see, because the thing about God Vegeta is he is really hard to kill, but he's not like oppressive on the game. I feel like you still need to manage his skills properly. You still need to, you know, use his ult properly as well. And obviously if you're facing a God Vegeta, like I feel like his ult, you could, again, obviously you could hear it and see it come down before he actually lands and does the ultimate. I feel like unless you're like right in the center of it, it's not that difficult to escape it. And a God Vegeta that's trying to get his ult landed well will try to grab multiple people. So it's situational. It could be very good, of course, but you need to make sure that you're using it and aiming it properly and using it at the right time, because it has a 100-second cooldown, which is not that long, but like it still could take a bit for it. And I don't know, I feel like I would much rather fight God Vegeta personally than Bardock, because Bardock had a 2-second wrath, which is really crazy. Early game, he did so much damage with his Rebellion Smash. I'm not sure why he did as much damage as he did. For a tank, I do not think he should have done that much damage. Like, you just spam right click, and then if they are hit into a wall, I mean, early game, most characters probably just end up dying. And if it's especially in the middle of a team fight, it's very easy to just get a finishing blow on an enemy like that. I think it was too strong. And they even buffed his ultimate. So like, okay, they buffed his ultimate before he got nerfed, so he was even better. And I just think that truly Bardock plus Kefla, which by the way, this was brought up as well, but there is the Divine Draw that makes you recover your vanish faster as well. It was just all a mess. So I think both of them getting nerfed was a good thing, because Kefla was just like, you could not really punish her properly. I mean, if you know how to play, right, like 8 out of 10 scenarios, 9 out of 10 scenarios, like you could just get out of any situation. It was really truly like a misplay, or if she's fighting like a 3v1 or something, then it would be a bit difficult for her to get out with that skill 1. But I mean, her skill 2 damage doesn't do as much now, so she can't like one-shot people as much, which I think is probably a good thing. She has to actually finish people off. This skill 3 is still really good though. They actually kind of buffed it. This skill 3 is pretty crazy, but it's good. It's good. Her ultimate still didn't get changed as well, which I guess is fine, right? It does a lot of damage still. She's still very good, but like, I just don't like Super Saiyan 3 Goku and God Goku. I feel like they're a bit predictable compared to Kefla, and you can still punish them a lot easier than Kefla. Obviously, you're saying like them as a duo, it's pretty tough to deal with. Like God Goku and God Vegeta as a lane is very devastating. But I just don't know if like I'd prefer over Kefla Bardock. Like I don't think so. Catering to the game for newer players when I don't do a good job at all teaching how to win a B rank and beyond lobbies is what's killing people with solo queue. We also again brought this one up, and just generally talking about it, it's a thing of they don't teach the players like anything in the game guide. Like if you guys, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys don't even know what the game guide is. The game guide is something like within the game. In fact, I'm literally gonna open the game just to show you guys the game guide, because I bet you, and I try to do this every time I get the opportunity to, but most players like probably don't know what the game guide is. And I mean, to be fair, this is like an hour into the video ish. We're like more like 45 minutes into the video, and I mean, just to show you guys real quick, we can go here, game guide. Tells you a lot of details about the game right here. So many things about the game. I mean, we can go over here to, okay, here's what a transformation is. You will be provided immune to all. right here, you know, here's the field of view discovery. Here's what smoke does. Like, you could read someone's kit. Like, let's say we go to Trunks' kit, for example. We just saw smoke. Like, you could read this kit, create smoke and impact. Like, how are players supposed to know what smoke does? Like, when you first read this kit, so that you could use it properly without like experiencing it yourself. You would have to fight another Trunks to notice how that works. Like, you would think smoke is maybe just like, obviously it obstructs your vision, but like, how are people supposed to know this, how it works, right? You know, some stuff like movement speed up, movement speed down is like pretty self-explanatory. Like, you move slower, like this, for example. Applies provoke, ability that provides resistance to enemies who are provoked. And then you could obviously kind of tell what provoke is, but like, you don't get an exact description of what provoke does. Or you can look at a helper, applies wrath. Like, what is the difference between wrath and provoke, chat? Do you guys know what the difference between wrath and provoke is? Like, at the top of your minds? I can tell you, we can just literally go in here, but basically, wrath is only forcing them to do rush attacks. Provoke also forces your skills, right? We can get, is it this one? Yeah, like for example, provoked. Forced to strike only at certain targets when using a skill rush attack. Then wrath is forcing them to move towards a certain target, and you will continue to do his rush attacks. You read Ultimate Gohan's kit. A flea is pretty easy, I guess, to know. But like, high pressure, how are you supposed to know what high pressure does? Like, how are you supposed to know exactly what immobile does? Like, not maybe be as clear as you would think, right? And that's a big issue for me. Also, the tutorial. I'm working on a video. I played the tutorial a bit. Kind of wasn't that great, honestly. It was very bare bones. I think they should maybe have a tutorial for every character. That would be really cool. I mean, I do want to get around to making guides for every character. Probably it's a good time to do it sooner than later, honestly, like around this area of time. Those guides won't really do that well as videos, but I think they will help players, especially since a lot of these, like, a lot of people who make guides made them like in season 1. So I might remake, just like, I say remake as if I've done them, but like maybe I'll redo a Super Saiyan Goku guide, because, you know, obviously it's been a while, and just kind of send those out over the next few weeks, because it's going to be a little bit dry. So we'll see. Obviously, I think the guides will be like an extra video, unless it's a new character. The guides will likely just be an extra video for the day. So yeah, the game is shit. Honestly, I could definitely see the reasoning for that. I don't think that's really a hot take. I think the game is being not handled well, just in general. I feel like communication's been decent. Like, they did drop us finally a producer's letter, which is really good, but I feel like this half anniversary they needed to step up, and they kind of did in some aspects, but there's still many things that they could do. And we do know that they're still planning to adjust the Star Collection. Where's the dev letter? Update info? No announcements. I don't think there's no dev letter in here. But like, that's because obviously the dev letter's in game, but that's whatever. Let's take a look here at some more of the quotes. The game sucks for being a MOBA. The folks, myself included, are only playing it because it's Dragon Ball. The love for the franchise max the stench of it. Yeah, again, we talked about this earlier, but like having another lane in the game would be really good. And just like being better at some of these character balances, being a little quicker with these character balances too would be really ideal. I mean, they hotfixed hit. I don't know. I feel like I don't know what they're thinking sometimes. Like hammers, why is hammers not hotfixed? I just don't get it. We talked about this earlier. We talked about this. Yeah, this is literally what I just brought up here. Squadron needs to change the map layout every season. I agree. Honestly, I think having some changes to the map would be really fun. Or obviously, I feel like we should have gotten a new map maybe for this season. But like, also from what I heard, most like MOBAs don't really do that. However, Gekishin's putting in a lot of effort to make a bunch of these sub rules, which, you know, some of them are cool. Like, some of them are fine and they can be fun to play. anything, don't get me wrong, but I feel like I would much rather them focus on the main aspect of the game, the Gekishin rules, rather than kind of giving us a bunch of these sub rules that realistically, again, if you're hopping on Gekishin, you're playing for the Gekishin rules. You're not playing for really anything else. So I just kind of don't really care about them focusing on these extra rules, because like realistically it's gonna take away from the main aspect of the game, I feel like, and I feel like it has, but that's just me. The ranked matchmaking system in this game is BS. You don't touch tech for a season because your favorite releases are DPS and tank, and now you're back in D rank with people who don't push boss. I mean, I get that, but I feel like this is probably one of the more fair things. Maybe because, like, okay, they're obviously trying to push you to play the game still. And I think, obviously, I guess it depends. Because obviously, like, let's say you go down 2 ranks pretty much. So, like, obviously, if I was an S rank, I would be pushed down to about B1, I believe. Then if you're A rank, like A4, you get pushed down to like B4 and so on and so forth. So like if you didn't really play tank a lot and you're like B rank like technical, you get pushed down to D rank technical, and that's like very annoying, because if you're solo queuing and you're trying to play the game, you will obviously get paired into lobbies like a lot lower than you. I'm not sure how they could work around that, but I feel like, I mean, these D rank and C rank lobbies are kind of littered with bots, so that's another issue entirely. The lack of weekly updates, not from the developers, but in terms of constant patches, will kill the game if this isn't addressed more often. I feel like I somewhat disagree with this. I feel like the game does drop a decent amount of stuff each week. Like I wouldn't say there's I would not say that there's a lack of weekly updates. At least that's my opinion. I feel like at the end of the season things run dry, but obviously that's the end of the season. Like I'm personally satisfied with what they drop weekly, but it would be nice to get more. Like I will definitely take that. That's just me though. Characters being locked to certain roles. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm curious to see like if there's any, is there any extra thing? I don't know, like lack of weekly updates. You mean like in terms of patches, like changing characters? I mean, that would be nice if they updated characters weekly. I'm just not sure how plausible that would be for them. I mean, it would be ideal. I think that they need to do these hot fixes more often, for sure. This bomb is either top 3 or bottom 3, never in between. I think that's because of how this guy works, but maybe a lot of people don't know that with this guy early game, you just back farm with him. Like, you know, you can test for Kai in bot lane if you're at bot lane, but like, you kind of just want to, again, get a little bit of back farm with him for the most part, honestly, and just get to level 7. Then when you get to level 7, you kind of become a real character. And then, especially when you get to level 8 and you can max out your Kamehameha, I think that, like, makes this guy way better, right? So, like, I think he's, like, a late-game demon. Or more so, like, mid-game demon, because you can get level 8 pretty easily, like, by about mid-game. With how the spawn works now. The battle pass seems like we work. I mean, I've seen a lot of say that. Never really liked how the skin or just base skin retextures. Besides that, there's only... profile photos and capsules. Please add exclusive animation for and more tiers. Exclusive animations could be really cool, like for the battle pass. I think I would like that. The stamps are cool as well. More tiers for the battle pass would also be good. I think that it's really interesting that the battle pass just like kind of ends, but like, okay, you can finish the battle pass in like 3 weeks. 3 or 4 weeks of content, like you're done with the battle pass. Like this next reset, I'm gonna be pretty much done with the battle pass because I'm already like level 40. So like I feel like they could add more tiers, because the thing about the battle pass is I just think a lot of casual players are not gonna really complete the battle pass regardless. Like they're not gonna go out of their way to do it. But if there is more steps added to the battle pass, I think that would be really nice. I would like that. And then obviously incentivizes people to play the game more and get these missions done, even if it's like just CPU battle. Like I genuinely do think that would help out. Okay, that's it for the quotes. Let's read a couple more of the comments, and we'll kind of end from there. Vegeta feels like a skill check character that's good. While Gotenks is bad, he's also a skill check character. Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is like the exact reason why he keeps getting nerfed, because in lower ranks, like Gotenks, again, is a character that will prey on you making misplays. Like if you vanish too early, he can trap you with skill 1, stun you, and then you get stunned, obviously. If you're grouped together too much, or you're not really coordinated enough, not watching what you're doing, you can get grouped in by donut, honestly. Skill 3 is like kind of there to help prevent backdooring, and obviously like if you don't know how to use your energy blasts to get rid of the ghost, it's kind of on you too. I guess it depends on the character you're running, right? But yeah, I mean, Gotenks is also just applying no skills is really good too, though. God Goku should have been attacked. Yeah, I mean, we agree for sure. God Goku is a skill 2 merchant and sucks so bad. He got done so dirty. I would disagree. I mean, do you know how hard God Goku's skill 1 is, dude? Like, how hard this hits when it's boosted? This skill 1 does crazy damage. Like, I feel like not enough people utilize that skill 1. It does really crazy damage. And it can affect movement speed down as well. Like, it's pretty nasty, man. It is really crazy. And then another thing is that they also get inflicted with burn, so like they will also take DOT damage as well. So like this skill is really good, this skill is really good, this skill just obviously just enhancing the first two, which is also fine. This right here could be pretty good as well. Like it could actually end up doing a lot of damage. It's pretty decent for boss secures. Like, we'll take that. He could just spam skills as well. Like, he's just really good in team fights. I feel like the only issue for him is that he doesn't really have that much mobility. But, like, there's God Vegetas in the game right now. I mean, you can still use Bardock with him. Like, there's characters that could help prevent God Goku from getting jumped. So, it also a little bit matters in your own positioning. But, yeah. Deborah's A tier. Trunks needs a health buff, and the game is not even close to dire state like all the content creators say. This season is great. A dire state. I just think the thing about the game is most comments here are like negative towards the game. I guess that's gonna be a thing. Like people are negative towards like Dokkan all the time, and Dokkan's not like in a bad state. It depends, because like casual players might not really care about Gekishin as much, like in terms of like being as invested into it. And it's like, oh, they are players who will hop in and just play every few days with their friends and be like, oh yeah, that was fun. You know, we're C rank lobbies, we're just kind of messing around, we're just fighting these bots, we're using these characters, this is fun. Yeah, I wish it could be like you guys. That sounds really nice. Unfortunately, I'm a chud, I think, so that sucks. Deborah A tier. I just don't agree. I feel like Deborah just gets countered by most of the game regardless, even though he's really good against God Vegeta. I wouldn't even say necessarily really good. He's like a good play into God Vegeta. Can be very annoying, for sure. Like, I don't think that makes him necessarily a top tier because of that, because I feel like God Vegeta, I feel like if maybe it could have been a little more extra if I feel like God Vegeta had a grip hold on the meta, but he doesn't. I think more people think he has a grip on the meta than he actually does. Like I feel like he was not like prime Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. And another thing is, obviously, if he gets skill checked by like if he gets skill checked by like every other character in the roster almost, then like what does that mean for him still? Like, especially if you load into a game as Deborah and you're not facing God Vegeta, like what are you doing? But again, anyone can make any character look good if they know how to play him right. So give them a mind, especially pre-S rank. God Vegeta's balance as is. If you disagree, then you just suck at team coordinating and jumping him before his meter goes off. It's not even just before, but it's like after. And that's the thing. We do got to keep in mind there is solo queue players in mind, right? And teams aren't really going to be as coordinated in these solo lobbies. But at the same time, yeah, that's kind of what you do. It just generally player base doesn't really know about that, like, or think about that. Or like there's Yeah, just many things about it. Cell games was better before they made it faster. You still like the energy nullification as well was most appealing. Yeah, because like okay, the energy nullification lasting longer was probably better, especially for boss secures. However, you can pick up people a lot easier now, so I think it's like a pick your poison kind of thing. I feel like maybe it should have been you could end it early if you want, and you could, if you like press an input in again, you could end the cell games early. Otherwise, you can keep the energy going on longer. The field, anyways. I think that's what I would have liked personally. The divine draws that slow down the pace of the game should be removed. Yeah. Exactly. We talked about this earlier, but like divine draw should not nerf you and take away from you. It should instead be buffing you. Or wait, I read that nerf you instead of buffing you. I don't know. I feel like that's still. I hate when divine draws just take away from you. Like they take away core concepts of the game that the game is balanced around, and they make the balancing just like turn on its head. I just like I'm not necessarily a fan because characters obviously I think for the most part the meta's fine. I think many people have said this, but like the meta itself is fine. It's just the hammers is really the big like stain on the planet right now. Like skill 2 cooldown is a bit too strong for like Boo and stuff like that. They need to nerf skill 2 cooldown. Like I don't know why they nerfed hit, but not the skill 2 cooldown in general. Like they saw did not see like Majin Buu gameplay or like Super Saiyan Goku gameplay or Gamma's gameplay. Like I don't know. I don't know. Do they not look at S rank like games at all? No idea. What were we like 2-3 more? Better optimize the game until it can play in low-end mobile devices because just like older MOBAs, they have a huge player base because their game is really optimized while Gekishin is only kind of optimized. I think that's fair. Like just getting more players is better, obviously. Even though it's good for the game, I hate when strong characters get nerfed, considering they're the most fun due to them being insanely strong. You're just supposed to playtest these characters instead of letting us get used to using said characters and they get nerfed and the character loses that fun factor. I think it depends, because like a character can get boring if they're too strong, if they're too good. Like Kefla to me, or Bardock, kind of got boring quick. God Vegeta feels a lot more interactive as a tank, right? So I guess it depends. But yeah, I mean, again, guys, let's be honest. We don't know how like much the producers are trying. They probably were not trying that hard, I would hope, in the creator showdown, but like did not give me hopes. And I feel like they still could have played a little bit better, but I don't know. It just felt like I don't know. It just did not look it obviously did not look good. So that's just a thing where I don't know. It's like, I'm not like they make some good balancing decisions though. I just wish maybe they did test the characters a little bit more. Or again, they could literally just be going for more of a competitive or less competitive. Like, it's so weird. Like, are you going competitive or not, man? Like, we could say, like, I can't even say these things because I don't know. It doesn't even, like, I don't know what direction they're taking the game in. If I knew where they wanted to genuinely take the game towards in the future, then I would at least be able to give a concrete answer. I'm like, oh, this is why they did this. But, like, you can't. So, like, it's like there's two different people. I don't know. We'll finish off with this one and then maybe we'll come back to these later. There's still again so many replies, right? The ball trap divine draw is only fun when you play Ultimate Gohan and can chuck people into them. God Vegeta could also do that, and Bardock can also do that technically. Why is medical respawn in the game? I think it's stupid. Cell should be completely redone. I don't agree. I think Cell's actually in a pretty decent spot right now. I would still give him extra HP and then make him reach his transformation sooner by absorbing farm on the map, and then he would actually be quite good. Like he would be really good. I feel like because he has like multiple tools in multiple situations. No obstruction and skull through would be icing on the cake, right? A little cherry on top. Why is God Vegeta the way he is? He's pretty good. I still think he needs nerf though, but let me know what y'all are thinking. My throat just like okay, I just like what's the word? You guys get the point. You heard it. My voice cracked. That was pretty funny. Anyways, I appreciate y'all for watching. I'm gonna get my coffee now. It's morning, and I guess I have to also kind of render this video because it's 2 parts now. But anyways, thanks y'all. This is a long ass video. and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.